It's a journey, y'all. It's called The Journey Within. That's what my friend said to me. She said,
Genius.
there's no greater journey than the journey within.
Oh, wow. It's already started. Wow. Greetings, Soul Tribe. Thank you for being the vibe. It's your host doing the absolute most G3E, the one and only. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Spread, where we take the journey within, and on this path we are led. Thank you to God, guardians, our angels, our ancestors, all beings and forces wishing us well. May this reading be swell, and in the highest vibration of love, that's where we dwell. Thank you all for spending some time with me. As always, do like, share, subscribe, do all those things right there at the bottom. But yeah, we'll just jump straight into it. As you'll see, I've got some cards already pulled out. I always say I'm led. So we're gonna just start with this set of cards that I have here, and then we're just gonna deep dive into what is happening. So yeah, I'm reshuffling the cards. Some cards pop out, and I'm just like, okay, I put them down, and I was like, okay, is this for me? Is this for the collective? Like, Spirit, what are you saying? And I use my pendulum. It's like, it was for the collective. So I was like, okay, bet, let's go. So I wasn't led to bring out any other cards, but we've got the original Rider-Waite tarot deck here, and I've got another tarot deck. So I'm thinking we'll just expand on what we already have here, just to get a different energy for what's happening. But just to go through what's here on the table already, we're starting at 2:02 on the timer. Goodness, wow. So 2-2 adds up to 4. Wow. Okay, so first card, we have the 4 of Pentacles upright. Second card is the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. And then we also have now the 7 of Cups in reverse. And at the back of the deck, we've got the King of Swords in reverse. First seeing this, I was very much led to the Pentacle cards. One, I was thinking, hey, one, of course, being the Ace. The Ace of Pentacles has been following us around for like reading after reading after reading, and it's like Spirit ushering in or bringing in this new energy, bringing in this new abundance, this new opportunity, ultimately grounding or earthing this idea. Okay, I don't know what that was. What was that? Okay, that is cool. I don't think it's anything major. Okay, oh, but it fell, right? It's being grounded, it's being earthed. So I'll take that as confirmation. But yeah, something was coming down. But, for me to just be led to this, it's like something is like now in the way of this manifestation, of this creation, of this idea, of this new home, this new opportunity, this new job, this new location, perhaps, And yeah, just bringing us back to the beginning, let me just, kind of follow this order here. We have the 4 of Pentacles first. And with this 4 of Pentacles, this speaks to, holding back, keeping something to yourself, could also be a secret. How I'm taking this right now is that there's something that needs to be let go of, something that needs to be released. And the collective, I'm being reminded to say, guys, these are collective readings. Please take what resonates, leave the rest. But 4-2, 4-4, clearly with number 4. But I do believe that if you found yourself here in this space, there's something here for you, right? Could be one part, could be the whole thing, could be beginning, middle, end, I don't know. But you just gotta trust and use your discernment, follow your intuition. Whatever Spirit tells you, hey, listen, it's up to you. But anyway, oh wow, I think that even relates to what's actually happening right here in this 4 of Pentacles, is to say, what's actually meant for you to put out. The things that you've been holding close to your chest. The things that you need to release, whether it is these ideas, these passions, these wow, I'm getting a lot about ideas. I think you've got this multifaceted nature where you have so many different interests. And I mean, just like, look at this, there's 4 pentacles here, so it could even be 4 specific areas where that you can be of service or you can gift people. But again, I'm just taking that based off of what I'm seeing in the card. But again, it's just coming through as there's more than one thing that you are holding to yourself or keeping to yourself that could actually lead you to more or to being more. But for some reason, you are needing to find, of course, here I'm looking at the homes at the background, some kind of stability, some kind of foundation that's actually going to allow you to actually like bring this thing forward. I'm also getting something about how, it's about also feeling safe to share these ideas. And maybe there's something about, also having the right amount of energy and drive and push. So perhaps it's something about remembering your why as to, you are unique, you are rare, and the things that you have or your expression, it's meant for you. Like, there's a reason why those ideas were given to you, or those inspirations, or those tasks even as well, because sometimes spirit sends us on a mission. We need to accomplish something, sometimes for ourselves, for our lineage. Sometimes we're healing things like for even previous ancestors or previous people in our line. But there's just something that needs to come through you. That's what I'm getting here with this Four of Pentacles, right? But it also looks like we need to leave something behind in order to move forward. There's just a shift that needs to take place. But Spirit, of course, here showing us the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, wow. I'm going to take that as a confirmation race card. We need to move really quickly. Or there's a desire to move quickly. But then, of course, with that, me hearing that sports car, race car, it's like, how do we move? How is this movement actually going to take place? Maybe that's what's being questioned, like the modes of transport as well. Like, how does one thing go from its inception to its, its creation or to its existence? You know what I mean? And I think that's also what's being highlighted here with this Ace of Pentacles, is to say, this new thing does want to come through, it does want to come forward, but then there's something in the way of that. It could be that like maybe you are standing in your own way by holding on to it, and you just need to let it go or let it out. There might even be something about like you being too focused on its presentation, like it needs to be perfect, I need to cross my T's, dot my I's type of a thing. And I even think about myself and how I started my journey here on YouTube, or even like putting on like cameras and like recording myself. I didn't wait for myself to be perfect. I just started, and over time I started gaining more confidence and being like more able to just do these readings, express myself, and even share things about myself that I've always held within. I am not gonna say I'm like the master at this, but we're stepping into mastery. We grow, we evolve over time. But using myself again as the example, if this was only like one of those things, there are other things that I can still put out, that are going to help clear the space and then also usher in new energy. So I use myself as the example, but you as the collective, as the viewer of this message, as the receiver of this message, how can you open yourself to receiving? I also think there's something about how there's an idea of how your blessing is supposed to come in. You might be thinking it's going to appear in a certain way, like maybe your new leap or your new bound or your new step, your new evolution is going to be at work. Maybe you get like a promotion, or you're at school and you think like, I'm going to go to the next grade in the school, but you actually are going to change schools, you're going to change jobs, or you might even get homeschooled, or you might even create your own business, you might become an entrepreneur. So it's like not being so stuck up on like how the blessing comes in, but yeah, I think we'll get into that much deeper. Next one here we have is the Seven of Cups. Wow, how nicely transitions from what I just mentioned now about like you have so many options available to you, but there's something that is in the way of you actually seeing them. When I usually think of this card, I'm thinking about in the upright how this person is in the dark looking towards the light, but it's like now it's in the reverse, like going from the light to the dark. It's like something is veiled, something is hidden. I'm even being led to now these clouds actually being more prevalent rather than these cups emerging or coming out from these clouds. So it's like, I think you might be tested, you might be presented with different things that you think are going to actually be the answer or the way that your blessing comes in. But I think these are also trying to show you aspects of yourself, to show you that, look, you are manifesting something, or you have the ability to bring something into fruition that's going to change your life. How you are at work, how you are at home, your money, your energy, just all things earthly, things to do with your time as well. But they are like the guides, angels, ancestors, source are highlighting aspects of ourselves that we perhaps we're even like leaking our energy in a sense, you know. A message that came through to me earlier today, it's about the bonds that we form. And something that I realized is that, like, because some of us have open hearts, we just pour into people, and even if it's to our detriment, you know, like sometimes we help people that spirit doesn't want us to help. We form bonds with people, but let's say it's a trauma bond, whereas you could bond over something more positive, you know what I mean? But then because you are of service, because you have such a big heart, you just pour and pour and pour. So now imagine with you being again with this timely energy, all things earthly, you could have so much time on your hands, but then you're being asked if it actually fulfills you. You could have all this money, but are you spending in a way that it actually makes a difference, you know? Again with the home, again with the work, there's things that people do just because they have to do them, but like, is it actually fulfilling? So I think you're being shown these different doors or avenues, windows, or whatever, like just entry points into your energy, and whether it is a positive or a negative, and how you are now going to perceive that and decide for yourself, like, do I actually want to entertain these options? Do I want to bring them to fruition? Do I want to elevate them? Because that's ultimately what's being highlighted here. Yo, I realize that I say the word ultimately a lot. Like, yo, everything is peak. Everything is like high vibe. Yo, man, goodness gracious. But I trust that, you know what, that's where spirit is actually trying to take us to. Like, we need to be the ultimate. Like, because, you know, I'm even thinking about like how I was listening to a song by Cardi B today, and I saw that she released a version of her album, and it's like the ultimate edition. So there was like different editions of the album, and then we got to the ultimate edition. So I was like, wow, we go through these different versions or renditions of ourselves, and you know, because of these things that are happening, that we're going through, we are evolving so much that we are needing to introduce new versions of ourselves, sometimes even to ourselves. Like, damn, I'm not the same as I was an hour ago. Like, because, you know, a download hits and it changes your life completely. But I use that as an example to show like a very quick change, but some changes are happening over weeks, months, years. But when you look back at those different points in time, you realize that you were different versions, and like becoming your ultimate version, because you are getting better over time. I mean, that's the hope, right? That's the desire, that you are not repeating past mistakes or doing things that are actually going to set you back. So yeah, let's go towards the ultimate. Let's go towards the ultimate, like the highest, the most vibe, highest vibe. I mean, that's how we start these readings, right? In the highest vibration of love, that's where we dwell. And you know, I created that intro with the notion of the thought that, you know, love is a high vibration, and you know, when we let love lead, come on now. I mean, maybe that's what's being led to being highlighted is like, where are we letting love lead, or where is love being taken advantage of? You know, like how do we work with that? At the back of the deck, we've got King of Cups. We've also got Eight of Cups. So, oh wow, more cups, right? So I think it's, you know, looking at where we are being emotionally unstable, and then also where we need to realize like, okay, we need to leave certain things behind. So yeah, let's see man, let's see. Okay, one more. Let's actually do it this way this time. But okay, we'll keep you. One more. What is this? Okay, clearly we need to leave some things behind. Where are we going, Spirit? Where are you taking us? Alright, but let's dive in. Tell us more, Spirit, about this Four of Pentacles. What do we need to know? What does the collective need to know about this Four of Pentacles? The Emperor. Yo, interesting, like how this Four of Pentacles is also like sitting on a crown, or sitting on the crown, or I was about to say sitting on the throne. But sitting on the crown. Wow. Look at that. More crown. I mean, more thrones, more crowns. Goodness gracious. And we're getting so many kings. I mean, behind the deck there was King of Cups. Now we have in reverse. Now we have King of Coins in reverse, and at the back of this deck we have King of Swords in reverse. So it's like, you know what, whatever's oh wow. And you know, I always view the Emperor as like all the kings combined in one. It's like, oh my word. And coins is more pentacles again. Goodness. Okay, it's hitting. You know, when I look at the Emperor, I'm thinking like, this is somebody who has dominion, who has power, who rules over his entire kingdom. You know what I mean? You've got the will, you've got the direction, you have, you know, also could be a very strong masculine energy. But for me to now look at this Emperor and consider that we've seen, you know, all these kings, 3 kings in reverse. Oh wow, 3 kings, and then we're saying something about the crown. So okay, yo, let's just stop for a second. Okay, see, now I'm just scratching my head. The crown. Whoa. It's like the one that we haven't seen is the King of Wands. So that would be your creativity, your passion, your drive, right? So let's consider that that king is present. Then the other 3 kings being in reverse, it's like those are the aspects that need to like come together actually right now. It's because you could actually be sitting on your kingdom throne. You could be sitting in a place where all the energies have aligned. Everything is as it should be. You know what I mean? Like having your cake and eating it too. That's the energy that's coming through. I just realized that rhymed. But come on now, it's natural at this point. But it's like, yo, man, there's just something about you, you know, being stern, being in a position where you can actually make the best decisions that you've ever made, and trusting in those decisions, even putting certain people in position to help you, you know, make these things come through or come true. But it comes with this release. So whatever it is that you need to release is actually going to elevate you, because again, you are holding on to things here, sitting on this crown, and the crown can now actually turn into a kingdom. So it's like you knowing who you are, you knowing that you're rare, you knowing that like you've already got some kind of proof that you are distinguished or dignified in a certain sense. But now the Emperor, it's like, with it also being from a minor card to a major card, it's like it's now being more distinguished, more established. Like now even other people are going to see it, you know, not only in the city but also in the mountains. So I'm looking at this as like even a change of scenery, you know. It's like, how do you even view your success? It's like, are you doing it for the earthly? Are you doing it for the spiritual? Are you doing it for yourself, or are you doing it for people? You know what I mean? It's like there's just something about you having a different perspective of what success is or what abundance is. But it will start to make more sense as you start releasing this thing. Again, for me to think about the crown, you're sitting on the crown, which would be like, you know, your crown chakra in a sense. So it's like you've been given these divine insights, these thoughts, ideas as to how you can like bring this thing to fruition. But it's like, again, all those ideas, all the smoke's coming through my way. But again, it's like, let's see through these clouds, right? 1847. But yeah, I think there's something about like you have these intuitive hits, you have these downloads that are coming through, but you're sitting on them. You need to act on them. So just get to moving. For us to see here, King of Coins in reverse, again, another king, you know, sitting on this throne, and this one is in reverse. But wow, such interesting imagery in this card. I mean, this looks like the devil sitting in hell, and yo, it's turmoil, you know. Of course they say that there's fire there. I mean, I'm seeing a volcano, I'm also seeing more mountains again. So it's like, you know, this could actually be like a reverse of this Emperor. It's like you not actually releasing these things. They're showing us that you could be the Emperor, but it's like you're actually going to lose time, you're actually going to lose energy, you're going to lose your grounding or your footing in a sense. It's like time is of the essence also, in a sense, to say like, while you still have energy, while you still have this capability, or while you're still in this position that you're in, take advantage of that circumstance, that situation, so that you can actually come forward, bring it forward, you know. So Yeah, I think definitely, you've been navigating tough times. I mean, I'm just looking at how, again, this looks like, it's in hell as well. But there's something about alchemy as well here. It's like, oh, wow. There's a download I got today earlier as well. It's like you being surrounded by hell, you being surrounded by a tough situation. But something that I wrote down here is, God may not always remove the situation, but God will protect you within it. So I think that's so powerful that, you know what, you might have been praying and hoping that the situation, all of this darkness, all of these negative people, influences, this environment is actually taken away, or that you are removed from it. But like, you have to just trust that you will be protected and move through it, because I know, which is the same place where I heard this message from, is that like, God gets frustrated, Source gets angry, the universe is not happy when the chosen ones, when the light workers, when the shamans, when the healers are not being attended to or being treated with that reverence or acknowledgement, that respect that they deserve. You know what I mean? And we are ultimately being put into these places so that we can learn something. And I think that would be a great disservice to say, like, we didn't learn from, being thrust into these situations, like we didn't make the most of it. But then at the same time, it's like we are also being shown who people are, what happens in certain situations. Like, when you have your heart on your sleeve, some people might just stab you in the back, some people might just take advantage of you. So it's like these lessons are actually going to help us move forward. So I think that that's very apt for this. Wow, interesting. And I wrote that down. I didn't think like it was gonna come through like this, but the spirit be cooking, bruh. Like, but again, you know what? We need to leave behind. I mean, from 7 of Cups here to 8 of Cups, of course, in the upright. I'm just thinking like, yo, what is this that we actually need to leave behind? And again, it's these structures that we thought that we built, what we once thought was fulfilling to us, And I was talking about things being in motion and transport. I mean, I look at 8 of Cups like a train. It's like those little compartments. Those carriages. Actually, like, as you can see, all these cups are like stacked together there. But it's like the carriages moving along. And now, oh, carriage, no, the spirit coming through. It's like, what are we gonna carry with us into this new era? Because I was making mention about these mountains, and changing our view on where we see success, right? But like, look at this character here moving towards the mountains. Yo, dude, my right ear is going off right now. Yeah, no, there's just something. Oh goodness. And now me thinking about my right ear going off, I'm thinking about this masculine aspect. And I knew that like something that I got earlier on as a download as well, was that there's a presence of a lot of feminine ancestors, guides, goddess energy. I'm even thinking about Kalima right now. But you're leaving behind, you seeing that actually this isn't what's gonna work for me, you are now stepping towards those mountains, or taking the higher road or the higher path, even though it's the path less traveled. With me also seeing the moon over here, I'm just thinking about the full moon that's coming up as well. But also, I'm not sure when I'm gonna post this, so it actually might have just passed. So I don't know. But anyways, there's a full moon, first full moon of February, right? And yo, goodness, 2026 is like moving. But yes, we have to move. And with me also thinking about the moves, I'm thinking, of course, the transport, the motion. It's like, so many channels are coming through right now. When we look at something, when we put something into perspective, it's because we have stilled the frame. For us to see something in perspective, it's because we have paused it. We are seeing it in time. But if, again, time is a construct, and we know time is not real, time is an illusion, then that means that everything is actually in motion. Like, it's perpetually in motion, if you want to look at it that way, right? So that means that, like, we can actually change how we view things if we now look at them as being in motion. Because if it's in motion, then it now speaks to its infinite nature, or how big it is, versus us looking at it from being bound to something, which is in this case bound to a time, bound to a certain perspective. I think this is going to apply in a sense because to this reading, because with all those transformations, with all those evolutions, we've gained different perspectives over time. But can we trust that with those different perspectives, we can now move through this darkness? We can now move through this area or this phase, knowing that all those parts of ourselves that we have learned and now integrated are actually going to play out in the best way that we possibly know that they can, because we are already exuding or embodying the energy of what it is that we are attracting, of what we are, what this blessing actually is, you know? Yo, wow. Yo, man, I think I just cooked right there. Spirit also cooked right there. Like, goodness gracious, I think that's powerful. Apply that to how you see it, you know. I think, let me give you an example. So it's like, you know that you are abundant, you know that you are rich in spirit. So for you to be rich on earth, you have to carry yourself like you rich inside, so that the richness reflects outside. Apply that as you see fit. Yeah. Anyways, okay, we had this Nine of Swords in the upright, and in the background, of course, it speaks to worries, anxieties. I think, you know, this is just a reminder to say, like, you know what, look at that, the moon, right? And me speaking about the moon and releasing stuff, you know, late at night, you might be sitting in your bed, concerned, overthinking, like, you know, just worrisome. And there is good worry, but there's also excessive worry, which becomes now a bad worrying. So I think you can now start to monitor, like, where are your thoughts around? Where is the crown, you know? And, you know, with the swords also being about wisdom, knowledge, intelligence, truth, lies, perception, you know, our decision making, how swift we move through things. And I mean, that's what was also coming through here with the King of Swords, you know, like, there's something about being indecisive here, or not being swift in decision making, that's like, you know, coming through. One of my favorite quotes is, the fall of man is indecisiveness. So whether you make a decision or you don't, you've actually made a decision. So might as well make a decision that's going to ease your mind, you know. What? Did I not just say that there was something about temperance earlier on? And look at that. And look at it, like, smiling just like I did right now. Goodness gracious. You know, it's like the moment you ease your mind, is my mind, my mind, my mind, help me, is my mind. Oh, who's that, man? Is it Naja or Naji? Yo, goodness. I don't know. But I'm just thinking about that song. But yeah, it's like, yes, you know, the moment you release these excessive thoughts, this over worrying, this anxiety or like anxiousness, like, oh, what if I release this song? What are they gonna think? Or, hey, if I put out myself in this way, or if I dress in that way, like, what are people gonna say? What are people gonna think? And again, I think it's not about being perfect. It's about just you doing the thing, you know, and then trusting that, you know, the perfect mix for you, your perfect, you know, recipe, your perfect ingredients are gonna come through in the best way that you know how. Wow, look at this. We've got the moon in reverse and we have the moon over there. Here I am speaking about a full moon. Okay, Spirit. I see you, gang. This reading needs to come out first. You know, and I think it's very timely. It's very timely that, you know, this moon comes up as well. You know, the moon speaks to things being revealed, and I think there's something that, like, is going to be revealed to you, but right now it's currently veiled. It's currently like, it's like Spirit's keeping a secret, you know. And I think that's very much leading us to this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, as to, like, you don't know how it's gonna come through. And I think that's what Spirit wants to do. Spirit wants to surprise us. Tell us more about this Ace of Pentacles, gang. Okay, we've got the Hierophant and the Page of Swords. One more. Okay, I'll take them. Wow, goodness, gang. Okay. Okay, Spirit's trying to talk. Like, yo. Alright, let's cook. Wow, King of Swords in reverse again? No wonder I needed to use a different deck, because you know what? Like, boom, boom. Here it is, the same thing coming through again. Wow. And you know, with it coming out with the Two of Coins, that speaks to exactly what I was saying about the fall of man is indecisiveness. Here we are now needing to weigh things up, right? Like, oh, what's good for me? Oh, what's bad for me? But then also it's like you not making that decision and like leaning towards what you know is actually in alignment with you, because as we know in this era, only energetic matches are allowed. If it doesn't align, like, yo, we are not only separating from it, but in this case, we are releasing ourselves from it. I mean, here me seeing the Eight of Swords, then the Nine of Swords. Did I not see another eight? Yes, the Eight of Cups. So it's like it's stepping in the way of our manifestation. It's stepping in the way of our magic, you know, of our expression, like how we create, how we become these magicians, and like get all the elements to come together and do the alchemy, right? But yo, it's like, you know what, you can free yourself from these traps, these mental constructs of, you know what is it that's actually gonna bring me this abundance? How is it that I can be rich, how I can be free? You know, I was thinking earlier too how there's an idea of what success is or what abundance is, and somebody is just happy to be with their family. Another person wants to live, you know, in the middle of nowhere surrounded by trees, and another person wants to have 10 cars. Like, you know what, we are different people, we want different things. So I think there's, you know, something about your growth and your evolution where you realize that you don't want the same things anymore, or perhaps even the things that you viewed as abundance before are not the same things that you view as abundance now, as success now, as this new way of being, doing, and creating. You don't, these new ideas, they are not the same as what they were before. But now release yourself from even what those ideas were or what they could have been, what timelines that they were going to ultimately set you on. I just saw 3151. So I think, yo, that's very important right now. You know, with this person also having these hands tied behind their back, it's like, and also with the blindfold, it's like now the mind is covered and even the hands are covered. And that's what's also happening here. It's like you have something to release, but then if you keep it behind you, then, you know, it's like you even forget yourself, you forget your unique nature, you forget that you're rare, that you're powerful, that you are this person that has got something like potent, very powerful to share. I mean, for you to even find videos like this, you know, I was listening to who's this girl, Mo, and she likes to say, Mo, act like you know, it's your show. And Mo is like speaking to like, yo, you know what, for the mere fact that us collective, this group of energies, this group of people who have got to the point of even wanting to introspect, wanting to actually go deep within ourselves, to do that inner work, we are like way different to many other people. Not a lot of people are speaking about vibrations, frequencies, and things like that. But because we do that, because we do those things, and you know they are not common, we can still sometimes look for them to be reflected in our reality, but most people are still NPCs, you know, they're still in the matrix, still in the system, and are yet to awaken. So it's a reminder to say that, you know, how we view things now, how we interpret things now has to change. It has already changed or is changing. I mean, depending on where you are within this collective, where you are when you find this message, right? It's timeless. But whichever person finds this, wherever you are, it's about now grounding that change or being open to it, or even accepting it, to say like, okay, I mean, again, at the beginning, some cards, I think, or a book fell over there because this thing is being earthed. It's this new thing that Spirit is trying to bring in. And what Spirit is asking us to do is ultimately like, look at this, question our values, our traditions, our morals. Because the Hierophant is about that. It's about structure, it's about learning, it's about school, it's about teaching. It's, you know, could even be about religion. It's like, again, those constructs, those ways of like traditions, morals, what's right, what's wrong. You know, the perspective which I was speaking to is to say, can you challenge the perspective and just get into motion? Just start moving, just start doing, and see what actually happens. You know, as I look at this Page of Swords, I'm seeing like, typically like this kind of looks like a depiction of the Strength card, but it's like, with me thinking about that, and also with it being the Page of Swords, it's like, can you move forward learning how to take action, but knowing that you are supported by your spirit guides, your spirit animals, knowing that you have the strength to move ahead, that even while you're still learning, like a page, you're taking a page out of the book, like, I'm going to try this today and let me see what that does. Like, what is the outcome of me having tried something? But then knowing that your strength will ultimately lead or will pay off to something over time. This character here in this card has a robot arm or a mechanical arm. And I'm being reminded of what we were saying earlier here about, like, having gone through certain things, being in the pits, being in these negative situations. But remember what I mentioned, God may not remove the situation, but will protect you in it. So here's this protection coming through. I mean, this cat, this jaguar, this leopard, they're huge, I'm even thinking about what is that, like a lion and a tiger? It's like a liger. But look at this, I'm even getting, like, with Avatar, Aang, like Aang has Appa. I'm just looking at this as like a white, big, pure creature that's like looking out for you. And I'm also seeing that this hand here and this white, background and the clouds as well. It's like, again, same thing happening over here. It's like, your greener pastures come from you just taking action and knowing that you're going to learn from your mistakes, because your mistakes are actually lessons. Your mistakes are actually things that you're going to learn and apply into what it is that you're doing. And ultimately, you now are not in the way of how this blessing, this anointing actually comes through, right? So know that you are different. Know that you are so unique, so multifaceted, so rare, that your circumstances are different. They will be different. And don't try to liken your circumstances to what you see around you or even in the people around you. It's like also coming through as like accepting that, okay, we'll take one right on top. It's like coming through as like an acceptance that, like, what, you are not going to also be accepted by people. You are going against the grain. I'm getting Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords in, like, the reverse as well. Or would that be Knight of Swords in the upright? Actually, yes, in the upright. Yeah. Going very quickly in your own direction, like where spirit led you, where the crown led you, But again, like allowing that masculine aspect of you just to like go forward, like, sometimes you just gotta say what you're feeling. You just gotta express it and just be like, fuck it, I did it. I said it, just take it. It's like something that I think about as well, about how, okay, Spirit saying drop this one as well. Wow, 10 of Cups, gang, what do you do? Spirit was like reminding me of this thing that I like to say. It's like how 3749, as an artist, as a creator, as someone who expresses, which I think we all are. We do that in our own ways. It's our job to create and not curate. So how somebody receives you, how somebody interprets you, or again, ultimately understands you or comprehends you, that's not up to you. You don't have any control about that. And I mean, if you worried about that, and that's perhaps the reason why you're not putting this thing out or releasing this thing or letting go of this previous energy or these ideas, however that resonates, it's like, what, they're not meant for you. Because if only energetic matches are allowed, the people that you are going to lead, the kingdom that you have, the empire that you have, it's for you and your tribe, your select people. You know what I mean? Like, that's all that it is. That's all that it is, gang. One more. Okay. That's all that it is. That's all that it is, gang. Wow. I think we've got some beautiful cards over here. And Spirit's like, okay, let's cook. What's going on? Okay, this card is quite sticky. I'm gonna take that as a synchronicity as well. So it's like the 10 of Cups just wants to stick, gang. It's attaching to our timeline, because, here's something else that I heard. Like when we think about like our dreams and the things that we want to manifest, they already exist, but they're just on a different timeline. So the moment we now evolve, we shift into that timeline. It's just about us now knowing and believing that that timeline is actually real. And now we realize, like, oh snap, if we can live our dreams, then what we're in right now could be like a false reality, an illusion, or perhaps even a nightmare, But that's what's happening. The Ten of Cups wants to stick. Your happily ever after. Your I like to say happily ever after when I see this card, but it's like the rainbow. It's like your achievements from having gone through the storm, like the rainbow comes after the storm. Everything that you worked for to get this emotional fulfillment, this satisfaction in who you are, not only for yourself, but within this, again, this kingdom, this empire that you're building. It's like you and your tribe, you and your family, you and your team, the people that you work with, the people that you school with, your community. You guys are gonna be your absolute best because you saw through the veil. You saw through these illusions. With this Four of Swords in reverse, it's coming through as like, this is definitely a time to take action. I think you have spent some time resting. You spent some time in thought, meditating, and granted, those things are great. You've integrated them. They are necessary. But now it's time to plan how you're going to move, how you're going to get up from the bed and now lift your sword, start taking these actions. Because if I'm looking at these being like explained by the cards just below them, it's like you're not now going to withhold this miracle. I mean, a flying carpet? Like, explain that. Oh, goodness gracious. What's that song from this movie, Aladdin? A whole new world. Like, gang, this is a whole new world and it's trying to stick. It's trying to like get stuck to us right now. A whole new world wants to come in, gang. In fact, it's already here. It's just sticking. It's just waiting for you to release this thing so that this blessing, this anointing can come through. And again, it's a miracle. You don't know how it's going to come through, how it's going to happen. But look at that with the star and, the jugs. And it's like coming through with the alchemy. I mean, even the other reading that I did, like, was speaking to this very same thing. It's like, just heal, gang. Just know that, what, you're protected in this darkness and you're moving forward. I mean, there's 2 year, there's 5 year, there's 4 year. So it's like the difference here being 3, the difference here being 1, 3, 1. Come on now, man, 31. In fact, I'm gonna make sure I put that down. And I think I actually pointed out 31 earlier. But of course, I'm thinking 3 being the community and 1 being you. So it's like you see this community, you saw what these groups, the 3 as well, and the 1, that one thing on your crown, and then the other 3 that you're holding on to. So it's like, trust that the one idea will open up the way for the other 3 ideas to come through. And of course, you taking that step, you taking that leap towards your mountain, and just taking the higher road, taking the higher path. But yo, man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Got some time in my water, and some of it just came up. But your 10 of Cups, right? I think it's definitely something that you've protected. But I'm getting something about like putting your guard down as well. Like, again, this is like that release. This is that opening up. I think you've been on this hill. I was getting that over here with the Page of Swords. It's like, being at the top of the hill, needing to protect what you have. And now it's like a time to like almost like take the softer approach, like to release these things that you've been holding on to, like your wands, like your different passions. Like, it's time for, for you to put them out. It's time for you to, again, not be so held back, not be so defensive anymore. It's like, again, that energy that I was coming through with earlier. It's like I said what I said, like, standing on business. Like, whoever's for you is gonna align with you. Whoever's not, fuck them. It is what it is. It is what it is. Like, again, your energy is not for everybody. And yeah, I think let's leave it at that. Spirit, one more? Okay, where can we go? You want that one? I see you like just drew my eye to that. So let's see. Let's get one oracle card just to close this out. And we're gonna leave the message at that, yeah? Alrighty. Let's see what Spirit got for us. Oh wow, already boom. First one, we're talking about a miracle with the star card, and we have the Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real, and we were talking about letting love lead. Nice how this comes together. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. Wow. Wow, Spirit, I think you want me to stop right here. Okay, cool. I think that this is that same thing that I was saying. It's like, having this idea as to how your abundance, how this miracle is going to happen. Just let it flow. Just let it go. And know. Rhymed? Did you notice that? But it's like, you're knowing that whatever you sense in your auric field, this new person, this new job, this new opportunity, it's here. It's trying to stick, but it just needs you to get moving. Stick. But yeah, just keep going. And okay, look at this card just trying to like pop up right here. So let's see. Open communication. Get weight off your chest. Goodness gracious. Wow. Mercury. Speak up with love and be heard. Wow. Again, more about love, letting love lead. We're going to leave that down there. And then look at that green Tara, supreme protection. And look at that third eye open. Wow. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. I was getting that protection also coming through with this Page of Swords over here. And look at that. We just got one more bonus message. Let's see what it is here. Lady Venus, downloads and understanding. Truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So definitely, with me even having put it between here, looking at the clouds, it's like the heavens and the astral is like coming through. And I think we just need to trust what's happening here. One more, Spirit. Okay, one more. Let's just split the deck over there. Love again. Guys, love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. And was I not just saying earlier that like there was strong mother feminine energy coming through? But if you have had like someone in your family, perhaps even a mother or even someone feminine who has led you to like holding back, not expressing yourself, then I think this is a time to like, put those ideas, put those notions to rest. Like, I can think of, I'll use myself as an example. Like, okay, I see we're at 4710. My mother had not supported or has not supported a lot of the things that I do. With me even stepping into my gift, me even like starting to read tarot, it's interesting. Like she introduced me to tarot, and then the moment that like it really started blowing up for me, she would tell me like, yo, I don't want you doing readings for people. It's like, what is that? So you can imagine now that like, in my case, okay, of course, I'm here on YouTube. I'm doing readings for people. Yo, my email's at the bottom if you want to get a reading. But it's like, you can imagine that if me holding back on my spiritual gift or something that I was doing, and now that I'm doing it, that would have been me doing the mother healing. So whatever she had once told me before, whatever limitation was on the crown, was now finally released. You know what I mean? So, one thing that helped me with that is, there's this Bible verse that I came across where it says like that the prophet is not appreciated in their hometown. So it was a reminder to me that, even my family, even some of my friends could not see who I was or who I was becoming, who I am becoming. And that was that reminder to me that like, look, I'm going to find my own tribe. I'm going to find people that actually resonate with me. And that ties in with what I was saying earlier about like how when you are going through this evolution, when you are going through this growth, you might look to your external world or circumstances for like confirmation of like, yo, you are who you feel that you are, who Spirit's telling you that you have been. This growth and this evolution, while it's happened internally and it's yet to reflect externally, you are rich internally, but it's yet to reflect externally. You just need to trust and hold the energy. You feel me, gang? And that's exactly what's about to happen. So yeah, I think that's a perfect place to leave this reading, with love, with peace, because in the highest vibration of love, that's where we dwell. Yay, whoa. Before I drop this. Yo, listen, again, things are just dropping. Things are just trying to stick. Things are just trying to get earthed. And these new creations, these new ideas, they want to be birthed. So every emperor has an empress as well. So, hey, let's do that thing, gang. Let's do that thing. Much love, much love. Thank you for spending this time with me. 4929. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Peace. Yay, yay.